Hello. Just a reminder that this course is just a survey course. This course is not here to break down all the different steps in ballet and modern jazz and help you define them or figure out how to break them down. Those are things you need to be doing on your own. You need to have a notebook. You need to be writing these things down. You need to have great observational skills. You need to be taking class on a consistent basis with the awareness that you're not only improving yourself, but you're listening to how the movement is being taught to you, what the feedback is being given to help you improve. And you're thinking, I need to hold on to that because that really worked for me. And I want to be able to use that when I transfer this in teaching to someone else. These are the things that you should be doing. It is a opportunity for you to, in this course, to be reading and to be looking and listening to different interviews and people's thoughts and taking that back into the classroom that you're teaching in and with those new ideas and thoughts and figuring out how you can implement that into your teaching. So this is to inspire, to provoke thought, and maybe even to change some of the things that you're doing. So you're going to accommodate, that means to change, or you're going to find something in these lessons and you're going to assimilate. You're going to say, that works perfect, it fits right in, I can add that to what I'm already doing. So either assimilate or accommodate is what we're hoping that some of these different lectures will help you with, okay? Some things to consider. You must study dance with intense observational skills. If you want to teach, then you need to be paying attention to how people teach. And if it's in a different form, it's very different from form to form on how the class is set up. And then a lot of the feedback that is given. So be paying attention to the different forms and how they do address presenting material and how they address feedback for that particular form. Also, you need to know your material. Now, you don't need to be an absolute expert in everything or a great turner. You could be great in something else. Again, still make sure that you work on turning with your students. Just because it may not be an area of your expertise does not mean that you make that a deficiency in your teaching. You can still learn to teach that very well. But you need to know your material, and so continue to learn. Become an expert in that area, or at least an expert in a particular form of that area, okay? Find class structure for whichever form that you teach. Ballroom dance is going to start out differently than a ballet class, and a ballet class might be different than a modern class, and you're going to use a structure in modern that starts on a floor bar, where in ballet it will be at the bar. So be aware of those structures of different dance forms, and if you're wanting to teach in that area, start paying attention, writing things down, understand the format and function of how the class works. You should practice breaking movement down or apart. Practice it, at home. And just, take a movement and say, how can I explain this to somebody? And we'll be doing an exercise on that where you'll be working with a novice, and that means a beginner, a complete beginner, and having to break that down and getting the opportunity just to see how important vocabulary and narrative really is. Because, and modeling is great too, but sometimes you can't always just rely on modeling and the visual, right? You need to explain things more clearly, and so practice that. Continue to take and observe master classes for new ideas ongoing throughout your life. I think one of our, Alison Kravenko, one of our interviewees, talked about how even at her late 40s, she went to New York every 3 to 4 months and took class with New York City Ballet dancers and teachers that were teaching New York City Ballet performers. So she took class with them. And that just really brought her teaching up to the next level. And she just realized that she wanted that. She was ready for that next level. And her students were ready for that as well. And so she went out there and found a certification program on the West Coast as well that specifically identified balancing technique for the certification. So she was able to go back on both sides, West Coast and East Coast. So that's just an example of continuing education, going out there and finding the information that you need and continuing to build and develop your skills as a teacher.